Stepping out in my heels and my hair wrap. Sabbath coming up, cut the meal, yeah I did that. Got my fringes hanging on the end of my dress. I miss peace, not his stress, his pillow of rest. Stepping out in my heels and my hair wrap. Sabbath coming up, cut the meal, yeah I did that. Got my fringes hanging on the end of my dress. I miss peace, not his stress, his pillow of rest. Stepping in this truth, she brew, yeah that's what I rep. Spirit play defensive back for that intercept. Tackling demons, let me grow, keep myself in check. Sisters keep her over here, so the game don't lag. Play my role as a wife, I don't want no strife. Don't want no beef, don't want no smoke, let's just coincide. We're to agree, yeah the most high is beautified. Bone of your bones, so you see us up in my eyes. Big Judah, yeah you know I'm a Judite. Most High woke me up, from then my spirit took flight. Yeah I stumbled a just man, fall 7 times. But I'm shooting demons like my name was Rick Grimes. Proverbs 30 when I'm trying to be counted as wise. Locked in with my husband talking soul ties. We serve the Lord, so our household is on the rise. I'm yours, you are mine, let our love fly. Stepping out in my heels and my hair wrap. Sabbath coming up, cut the meal, yeah I did that. Got my fringes hanging on the end of my dress. I miss peace, not his stress, his pillow of rest. Stepping out in my heels and my hair wrap. Sabbath coming up, cut the meal, yeah I did that. Got my fringes hanging on the end of my dress. I miss peace, not his stress, his pillow of rest.
Pretty brown skin girl, that's me. Love my husband every day of the week. You know I listen to him every time he speak, cause I know I want him to do it if it was me. I'm a Hebrew from the heart, not trying to depart, cause these laws I was taught from a long time being in the world. Even though I thought I was that girl, from that girl to now, a Israelite. All my life I knew I wasn't living right, but all praises cause now I finally see the light. Staying true to what it means to be a wife. I read my Bible, so I tried to live my best life. Christ said I gotta shine, so I show my light. I'm his helpmate in me, he found his delight. Asgadar, yeah you know, I got you for life.
Stepping out in my heels and my hair wrap. Sabbath coming up, cut the meal, yeah I did that. Got my fringes hanging on the end of my dress. I miss peace, not his stress, his pillow of rest. Stepping out in my heels and my hair wrap. Sabbath coming up, cut the meal, yeah I did that. Got my fringes hanging on the end of my dress. I miss peace, not his stress, his pillow of rest.
Had to get it right. Yeah. Hit the mute on there. Bible Kashat. You gotta hold up. Test and test. Yeah, we're good now. Boom. All right, kind. Whew. All right, first and foremost, I'm going to say call halal Yahweh by Shema Mashiach Yahushai, back in HQ again, teaching a powerful lesson, right? First and foremost, I also want to say this: like the video if you love God, right? Share the video if you love your brethren, man, and super chat if you really love your brethren and love God, right? Yeah, man. So today we're gonna be going into basically moving up the Lord's draft board, man, because you know this roster that we are hopefully going to take part in is a very, 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 very small roster, right? We think about like the NFL draft, the NBA draft, right? Only a select few people get chosen for that out of the millions of players, out of the millions of students that they have who were transitioning from college to the pros. It's the same thing with the Lord, but even a smaller roster with the Lord. So we're trying to, in this lesson, I want to go into this. Give me 2 John. Give me 2 John 8 and Amplified on that one. Oh, you already sharing your screen. Yeah, because this is the reward that we're all trying to achieve. This the whole reward that the prophets prophesied about, Mashiach Yahushua prophesied about, the Lord talks about, right? Various people in the Bible talk about this reward, being the elect or the chosen, right? That's what we're all striving for. That's what we're striving to be, and we have to build up our draft stock to be chosen for this, right? You don't want to be like what's his name, the dude who had that mask on and then he fell to like the second round. Was it Larry Tunsil or something like that? You know, Ron Fromm was here. We knew what I'm talking about, but we don't want to hurt your draft stock and plummet from being a first round draft pick all the way to the bottom. Right, because you fall to the bottom on this draft board, that means you're going to die. Right? That means you're gonna get burnt up in the second death. That means you're gonna get destroyed over here in Babylon. What you got?
Trying to figure out how to get this damn shit, how to get it bigger. So
Apple products, bro. Apple products.
Hey man,
I'm definitely on this nigga side of this one.
I've been trying to tell. Now you gotta move. There you go. There you go. Apple products. Slovakia, right? Get that. I will always hate Apple products. Right. Go ahead and read that verse for me.
God. This is the book of 2 John, chapter 1, verse 8. Watch yourselves so that you do not lose what we have accomplished together.
So watch yourselves. That's going into examining yourselves. All of us need to examine ourselves. I say this all the time in a lot of my class. We have to examine ourselves consistently, perpetually, forever until we're out of this place. Right. It says so that you don't lose what you've accomplished together. What are we trying to accomplish together? Getting out of Babylon the Great. God. The only people getting out of Babylon the Great, that great city, that golden city, is the elect. That is a very small roster. That's the servants, the prophets. That's the families of the prophets and those who aid the prophets, right? That's a very, very, very small list. You read about that list in Revelation chapter 7. Right? Keep going.
God. Watch yourselves so you do not lose what we have accomplished together, but that you may receive a full and perfect reward.
A what?
A full and perfect reward.
A full and perfect reward is Yahushua giving you that crown. That's what that full reward is, right? Because read that next part.
So, but that you may receive a full and perfect reward when he grants rewards to faithful believers.
To who?
To faithful believers.
Remember that, faithful believers. Get Matthew 25 and 21. You can do KJV, preferred, right? Faithful believers.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 25, verse 21. His Lord said unto him, well done, thou good and faithful servant.
Good and what?
Thou good and faithful servant.
Thou good and faithful servant. Remember, it says you get the full reward is given to faithful servants. This is Yahushua giving the parable of the talents, right? Somebody had 5 talents, somebody had 2 talents, somebody had 1. He's saying this to the one with 5, I believe, right? Yo, thou good and faithful servant. He also says this to the one who has the 2 talents too. Really, he says the same thing. Right? But you see him saying this, oh, good and faithful servant, to somebody who multiplied his talents. That's how you rise up the draft stock. That's how you rise up your draft stock and rise up on the draft board with the Father. You have to multiply your talents. You can't make excuses. You can't be a nigga just sitting on the sideline, basically just being another warm body. right? There's a lot of warm bodies in Israel, right? A lot of niggas just doing that. And you're gonna stay at the bottom of the draft board. And that's not what we're trying to strive for. We work too hard and work too long at our jobs, go through so much BS in Babylon, go so much BS with our ribs, our various wives, our family members. We go through way too much just to sit here and at the end of it still get left. That's crazy, right? I'm trying to get this full reward. Like, bro, like I spent $14 by myself at Taco Bell today. Inflation is crazy. And this is unsustainable. I'm bringing it up because it's unsustainable, bro. This $14. I bought one. I got the number one.
$14.
I had the number one. I had $14. That's crazy. This place is circling the drain. That's what I mean. Like this, we work too hard. Like, bro, that's almost like a whole hour of work. I mean, at a low job, but like still, like that's a lot. Like, what is it, like 45 minutes, 30 minutes sometimes? Like, golly, for one meal, and I'm still hungry. I mean, imagine you got to do that with your family, all that stuff like that, just to get left here, bro. You know what I mean? Like, I want to be the one that gets that crown, put him on me, and our Lord, Adonai, Yahweh Shai says this to me, right? Good and faithful servant. Go ahead, keep going.
His Lord said unto him, well done, thou good and faithful servant. That has been faithful over a few things. I will make thee ruler over many things.
Ruler of what?
I will make thee ruler over many things.
Ruler over many things, right? That because this is really going to be the 144. Who is the 144? The governing body, the elected rulers of the Lord, right? That's why it's I'll make you ruler over many things. Keep going.
I will make thee ruler over many things. Enter thou into the joy of thy Lord.
And what is that? And what is that? When you deliver from Babylon, when you enter into the joy of the Lord, and we brought into our land, right? Being the first fruits of that. Right? What Superior Jews said, it says, all praise to the Most High for the hopeful elect, but the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever. That's right. Right. Out of my favorite prophetic book, the book of Daniel. Love that. The saints shall possess the kingdom and take the kingdom forever and ever and ever, because we ain't never gonna lose it. That's right. Edomites fumbled it. Cushites fumbled it. Damn, who else am I forgetting? Edomites, Cushites, Babylonians. All they fumbled it. Syrians fumbled it. Egyptians fumbled it. But we not about to fumble it, man. We're gonna hold this kingdom forever. Get Second Ezra chapter 2, verse 42. Second Ezra 2 and verse 42, man.
I just wrote what I did. Okay, cool.
You sure took the long route for that. You could have just did it in the same window.
I had just peeped that, bro. This book is Second Ezra chapter 2, verse 42. I, Ezra, saw on Mount Zion a great multitude, which I could not number. And they all were praising the Lord with songs. In their midst was a young man of great stature, taller than any of the others. And on the head of each of them, he placed a crown. But he was more exalted than they, and I was held spellbound.
What translation is this?
Oh, shoot, let me see.
We can read it, but I just want to know what translation it is.
God dang. I do not like this one.
The Apple products, man.
The Revised Standard Version, the RSV.
I didn't know they had second Ezra in that. We can read it. You switched chapters when you did that. Point still stands, right? This is a prophecy about Yahweh Shai. We see this also in what is this, Revelation 7, right? And this is matter of fact, this is how you know. You ever see Christians say that the Apocrypha isn't? It's not. No, not that too. But what's the other word they say? It's not inspired by God, right? It's not inspired by the Holy Spirit. But let me read this precept real quick. I'm gonna cut that real fast. This is just a little sidebar, but I like throwing this in there every time I read this. Revelations 19 and 10, it says, and I fell at his feet to worship him, and he said unto me, see thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant of thy brethren that have the testimony of Yahweh Shai. Worship God, for the testimony of Yahweh Shai is the spirit of prophecy. If the Apocrypha isn't inspired by God, if the Apocrypha isn't inspired by God, why is Ezra giving a testimony about Yahushua? That gives validity to Second Ezra. And I also like the fact that y'all can say Second Ezra is uninspired. Ezra was uninspired when he wrote the first, Second Ezra, but the Ezra in the Bible is inspired. Right. That's crazy as hell to me, right? It's not. Of course it's not. Of course it's not. Right. But this is one way to prove the validity of the Apocrypha. A Christian would have to agree with that, because you're gonna have to disagree with Revelations 19 and 10 then, if the Apocrypha isn't canon or is not inspired. But let's go back to the point. Go back to 2 Ezra 2 and 42.
You know, start back from the top.
Yeah.
God. 2 Ezra 2, verse 42. I, Ezra, saw on Mount Zion a great multitude, which I cannot number, and they were all praising the Lord with song. In their midst was a young man of great stature, taller than any of the others. And on the head of each of them he placed a crown. But he was more exalted than they, and I was held spellbound. Mm-hmm. Then I asked an angel, who are these, my Lord? He answered and said to me, these are they who have put off mortal clothing and put on the immortal, mm-hmm. and they are confessed the name of God. Mm-hmm. Now they are being crowned and receive palms. No,
it says they put off the immortal and put on the mortal. I mean, put off the mortal and put on the immortal, right? So this is going into basically like you dying daily, like how Paul says, right? You killing off the old man. That's what these people have done. This is the elect. Keep going.
God, verse 46. Then I said to the angel, who is that young man who places crowns on them and puts palms in their hands? He answered and said to me, he is the Son of God, whom they confess in the world. So I began to praise those who had stood valiantly for the name of the Lord.
Now in KJV, we all know what that says, stood stiffly for the Lord, right? That's the elect. Now it says the people who are getting this stood stiffly for the Lord or stood valiantly for the Lord. Is half-assing standing valiantly to the Lord? Is putting the bare minimum, just being a warm body, is that standing stiffly for the Lord? That's dropping your draft stock, right? That's literally dropping your draft stock. These people are getting this. We see all these things that people conform to the image of the Son, like how Christ were, who are prisoners and bondservants for the Lord, right? And the people who stand stiffly for the Lord's name. You see all these examples of the people being delivered. Right, I say this all the time, right? Tahar, the Apostle Tahar says, "I don't know if I'm the elect, but I'm damn sure going to be doing what the elect is doing." This is what the elect is supposed to be doing, and the elect is not half-assing, right? We can't half-ass and expect to be saved, bro. You just can't do that, right? You get what you get what you put out, man. Keep going.
Verse 48. Then the angel said to me, go tell my people how great and many are the wonders of the Lord God, which you have seen.
Mm-hmm. That's it on that? Yeah. Come on. Go to 1 Corinthians 9 and 24. Amplified. Because you see the elect were given crowns here, right? So let's apply this to 1 Corinthians 9 and 24.
This is a book of 1 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 24. Do you not know that in the race, all the runners run their very best to win, mm-hmm. but only one receives the prize?
So let's just stop for that sentence. All the runners, like in a foot race, they all run to get first place, correct? Everybody does that. That's the same thing with basketball players and football players. The very best ones are always in the lab, right? They're always trying to work on their game. They're always trying to get better to win something that one day is going to perish. That trophy, that cup, that ring, all that one day is going to rust and perish. They're working that hard for that. But think about it like this, right? They're doing that for something that's going to perish. Why don't we put that same amount of effort for something that isn't going to perish? That crown that Yahweh put on their heads, whether it be physically or metaphorically, is never going to perish. If you are the elect, when you get delivered, that's going to be always on you, right? All that's going to be always on you. So we need to be putting this. If they can do that, if somebody can do that to be let's say not really Tom Brady. I don't want to use Tom Brady. Damn, eat mic. Yeah. Free. It's any player, right? Any player can work super hard to get these rings, do all that stuff. You can do that same thing for this truth, whether it be financially, whether it be you laying your body down to do this, being a servant, all the things you can do to push this truth forward. All that increases your draft stock. Keep going.
Do you not know that in a race, all the runners run their best to win, but only one receives the prize? Mm-hmm. Run your race in such a way that you may seize the prize and make it yours.
You should be looking like there's only one spot. You're trying to get it. You should be thinking there's only one elect spot. There's only one. It ain't no 144. It ain't no specified number. It's just one. You in competition with everybody around you. That's how you should be looking at it. And what can you do? Not what can the Lord do for you? What can you do for the Lord? God. That's how you should be. That's how all of us should be. Keep going.
Now, every athlete who goes into training and competes in the games is disciplined and exercises self-control in all things.
That's that you get in the lab. They're disciplined and self-control for all things. That's you sitting in the lab, working on your game. Matter of fact, like I'll be doing something too when I be editing the footage. Like I look at like how I dealt with a situation and how I could do better, right? Like a film study with myself when I do that to try to make my game better, right? We're called to be fishers, right? You don't want to like let's say if you was out there, let's say if you was like an actual fisher, like somebody who's like a professional fisher, you got a boat, you wouldn't want somebody out there who you know is going to scare the fish away, or who's going to do a bad job, who's going to cause you money or cause harm to your equipment and things like that. You wouldn't want somebody out there next to you, right? So when you want to not be that person, when you want to you don't want to be that person messing it up for everybody else. You don't want to be that person who could have reeled in the fish. Because don't Proverb says something like he's wise who winneth souls, something along the lines. If one of y'all go find that real quick. Is that he is wise and winneth souls? It's in Proverbs, right? What I was saying is like you want to be the person who could have won that person over, right? Because that brings you closer to getting out of this place. Revelation 7 talks about the servants and the elect. They have the number that has to be sealed so we can get out of here. What was that? Get that. Read that.
God, this is the book of Proverbs, chapter 11, verse 30. The fruit of the righteous is a tree of life, and he that winneth souls is wise.
He that what?
And he that winneth souls is wise.
He that winneth souls is wise. Just like how I said when I do my film study, when I do that, I'm increasing my wisdom on how to do certain things. That's how y'all should be. Think of like when you leave camp or wherever you minister, whatever you do, right? Whether you like y'all from Houston, y'all do what y'all do in Houston. We're in Dallas, we do what we do, right? Think about and reflect on what you did and how you could have did that situation a little bit better. That's how you increase your wisdom. That's how you be better. So when you're put in that same situation, and we've done that. Remember how we were doing homework sometimes, and then the same day something like that happens at camp every time, right? Imagine if you didn't do the damn homework, and then you get up there and then you go, how embarrassed! I could have swore I just went over this. That's a horrible feeling. As a matter of fact, I've been there. That's why I'm afraid of it. But that could happen. That's why you see in Romans chapter 15. Verse 4, whatsoever thing was written aforetime was written for our learning. Our learning. So you know how to deal with stuff. Like Job went through things, right? He's really the archetype of faith, right? All various people went through the Bible. We can look at all the mistakes they made and all the good examples they set forth. So when we get put in that position, we do the right thing. That's what this class is about. Go ahead. This is what this class is about. Keep going.
Now every athlete goes into training and competes in games, is disciplined and exercises self-control in all things. Mm-hmm. They do it to win a crown that withers, but we do it to receive an imperishable crown that cannot wither.
An imperishable crown, that's being the elect. Keep going.
Therefore, I do not run without a definite goal. I do not flail around like one beating the air, just shadow boxing. Mm-hmm. But like a boxer, I strictly discipline my body and make it my slave.
Make it your what?
And make it my slave.
Make it your slave. You know what that really means, though? You're spiritual. Your body is like your flesh, right? It's like a similitude to the same thing. Your body wants to do this. Oh, you want to do this. You want, like, I'm hungry. I'm about to go eat, right? I'm thirsty. I'm about to go drink something, right? Like this. That's how animals act, right? Just off of instinct, not no internal thought or sentience or anything like that. But us who have the Spirit can move and operate a certain type of way to where like, okay, no, I know how to deny my flesh things. That's why we have not a holiday, but a high holy day every year called Day of Atonement. Day of Atonement, you have to literally, while the whole world is eating, right? The whole world is eating and doing whatever they want to do. I have to stop. I have to not eat. I have to refrain myself from all my lusts that I want. I have to not drink. It's a dry fast. We don't do nothing except reflect on what you're supposed to be doing, right? While the whole world's doing the opposite of that. That's the type of training you should have. That's why you should fast often, right? Whenever you get a chance to legitimately do it, sometimes try fasting, and it don't even have to be like a dry fast. Like, you know what? I'm not gonna like, because I know Chief be doing this too. Like Chief likes Coca-Cola. Since I met this man, he drinks a lot of Coca-Cola. There'll be whole months where he'll just won't drink it, just to fast from it. He'll do that with a lot of different things, and I see why he does that, because that builds up your self-control and your discipline, right? Because if you walk around being undisciplined, you create chinks in your armor. When you have chinks in your armor, when something happens, you're more liable to mess up. That's why you want to build up that discipline. You got something to say?
No.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say something. Keep going.
But like a boxer, I strictly discipline my body and make it my slave, so that after I have preached the gospel to others, I myself will not somehow be disqualified as unfit for service. Right? Just like, what's the service we're doing? Preaching the gospel, just like how Paul did. We have to maintain our fitness. Just like, okay, say like you were a freaking, let's say you're a wide receiver, right? If you just keep gaining weight and keep getting fat all the time, being freaking Zion Williams, you keep being Zion Williams, what's going to happen to your stats? It's going to decrease. You got to do that same thing with yourself. You got to do the same thing with yourself and your spirit. Your stats are going to just plummet. And what happens when your stats plummet? Let's say you're in college, ready to go to the NFL, right? And you get fat and let your stats plummet. What happens? Your draft stock plummets. That's what this class is about. We have to increase that. Get 1 Peter 4:18. AMP or KJV?
Just do KJV.
4:15, right?
4:18. I brought this out last time I was here.
This is the book of 1 Peter, chapter 4, verse 18. And if the righteous scarcely be saved, where shall the ungodly and the sinner appear?
No, it's not right there. The righteous scarcely be saved. No, that's going into that number, that 144. If the righteous scarcely be saved, like they're barely being saved out of this number, barely, the righteous, right? Because you have a lot of people in Israel, right? Women put hair wraps on, men got fringes on, men got beards, women supposedly doing what they're supposed to be doing, right? And men supposedly doing what they're supposed to be doing behind closed doors. You're not being an Israelite all the time. Like, you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing all the time, right? You lack what they call integrity, right? When you do that, you're dropping your draft stock. You're making sure you're outside of that list, right? Your name not gonna be on the list, so you outside of the club. Right, you know what I mean? And you want to be inside this club. This is a club you want. It's popping in this club, man. it's back in this club. I know y'all Houstonites know what I'm talking about. Especially this man, you want to be a part of this club, man. So you got to maintain your integrity, because only the servants, the prophet's going to get in there. Get Revelation 7. Let's go to that now, because we're going to really explain this verse really with these next precepts. Just start one. Yeah.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 7, from the top. And after these things, I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth, holding the 4 winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree.
That's the judgments. Keep going.
And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living God. And he cried with a loud voice to the 4 angels, to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea, saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our God.
That's important, right there. Sealed the servants of our God, right? Does anybody know what that word is in the Greek? Servants right there. I never looked into this. It's the same word for like a bond slave, almost like a chattel slave, like the servants of our God, right? So it's doulos in the Greek. It means like a bond servant or a chattel servant. The type of slavery we can't do to each other, like you see in Leviticus 25. That's the type of service we're supposed to be serving the Lord with. Is there voluntary? Is there any type of voluntary half-assing in chattel slavery? No, not at all. These are the same servants that are going to be saved that's going to be on this roster. So there ain't going to be no half-assing. These people are not going to be half-ass niggas. It's not happening. It can't be, right? Go finish out that verse, and then we're going to go to Amos 3:7.
God. Saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our God in their foreheads.
Mm-hmm. Now hit Amos 3:7, right? So we're going to see who these servants are.
This is the book of Amos, chapter 3, verse 7. Surely the Lord God will do nothing, but he revealeth his secret unto his servants, the prophets.
Servants who?
The prophets.
Servants, the prophets. So these people who are chattel slavery to the Lord, right, are his prophets. That's how we know who the true prophets are. If you call yourself a prophet and you only do something, you only be a warm body on a Saturday for a couple of hours, you're not really a prophet. You can't call yourself that, because we see what the real prophets are going to be doing. We saw what Paul did. People want to talk about, oh, I can't stand Paul. He did more than a lot of you niggas. In this short amount of time, he did a lot more than a lot of these niggas, bro. And that's crazy. So get Ephesians 4. Right, speaking of Paul. And shout out to Miss Ramona, because she always showing up in the chat, man. Shout out to moms, man. Barakatah. Go ahead, read verse 1.
This is Ephesians 4 from the top. I, therefore, the prisoner of the Lord, beseech you that ye walk worthy of the vocation wherewith ye are called.
Watch this. Read that again from the top. Read it slower, though.
This is Ephesians 4 from the top. I, therefore, the prisoner of the Lord.
What of the Lord?
The prisoner of the Lord.
That's that bond servitude. Has anybody ever been in jail? All right. Now, so when you was in jail, right? Could you hold on, somebody request. Anybody who's in jail, could you just do whatever you wanted anytime in the jail? Yeah, you can't. unless you get told you can. That's the type of prisoner that Paul was. That's the type of prophet and apostle that Paul was. That's how we need to be. A prisoner to the Lord. We can't just do this on Saturday. You know what I mean? We can't just half-ass. We can't just not contribute just a bare minimum. I mean, not even for like our wives too, right? Our wives, like, because I'm gonna get later in this when we talk about how the families get saved outside of the elect, right? They have to bear you up so that you can complete your mission, right? Having the kids in a place where they can't disturb you when you're trying to read, right? Or when you're trying to level yourself up, or you need refreshment. Here they come to try to refresh you, whether it was food or just having company or whatever, right? That's what they have to do. They can't half-ass on that either. That's your salvation. Doing that in the name of a prophet, because if you're a prophet, right, according to the scriptures, and then they're aiding the prophet, giving a cup of cold water in the prophet's name, they're not going to lose their reward. So they can't half-ass either. So keep going in that.
God, I therefore, the prisoner of the Lord, beseech you that ye may walk worthy of the vocation wherewith ye are called.
Who knows what the word vocation means?
It's a job.
That's your job. When you go to your job, can you tell your manager, I'm not going to do that, and maintain your job? I mean, you can say that and act like that. Are you going to maintain your job? Hell no. I said, Mr. Jenkins, this is going to be your last day. That's what it's going to be, man. So let's go into this a little bit. Go to Revelations 11, right? Because we see all the things. We see who's going to be saved, what they're going to be acting like, and what's their mentality. So let's go into the first half of this reward, right? Because the second half is your first fruits in the kingdom. You delivered from Babylon, right? That's the second half. But the first half of it is really being is really being saved from all these plagues and destruction that's going to happen, right? Go ahead.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 11 from the top.
Oh, that's it from the top. Do 11:11. My bad. I wrote that down too. I wrote that down wrong. That's crazy.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 11, verse 11. And after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from God entered into them, and they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them.
No, and that's talking about what we see in Ezekiel chapter 37, right? About that army. Okay. Get that real quick. It said the spirit entered them, and they were on their feet. Go ahead. I pray this thing.
You want me to get Ezekiel 37? Right?
Yeah. I pray this thing killing babies and it's not. I don't know what this man's talking about. Ezekiel 37:10.
Okay, this is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 37, verse 10. So I prophesied as he's commanded me. So I prophesied as he commanded me, and the breath came into them, and they lived and stood upon their feet, an exceeding great army. An
exceeding great army, right? That so the breath came into that's the spirit, right? You see a lot of times in the Bible, the spirit is similar to like a breath or air, right? So that's what happened. That's what happened to all of us, really. When we started putting our fringes on, we start coming to camp, we start involving our lives involving the Bible with our lives, right? People in the world don't do that. Why? Because they don't have that breath in them, that Holy Spirit in them, right? But it says they stood upon their feet in exceedingly great army, right? What is that? What does that mean? An exceedingly great army. What does the army do? They fight, right? But we're going to be delivered before the plagues. So what is this war? Spiritual war. What we do on the streets. That's us being that army. That's what this army is going into. We wage a spiritual war, just like how Paul says in 2 Corinthians. I think that's 10. Let me get that. You say where you at. 2 Corinthians 10. Yeah, 2 Corinthians 10:4. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through God to the pulling down of strongholds, casting down imaginations, and every high thing that exalted itself against the knowledge of God, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Mashiach. That's what we do. We wage war on the streets. We ain't got to we're not physically trying to take over. Hell, I just thought about that too. Have y'all ever looked at the Wikipedia for the Black Hebrew Israelites? Yeah. You know, at one part, you know how was it the ADL? The ADL wrote them articles about us, right? You know, people always try. No, the Southern Poverty Law Center. They quoted that article in there. But what's funny is when everybody tried to use that article against us, at the very bottom of it on the Wikipedia, it says they're highly unlikely to use violence. I read that yesterday. I was like, wow. They want to talk about the Southern Poverty. I've never even heard of the Southern Poverty Law Center until that. But like, if it looks, it says they're highly unlikely to use violence, then why are y'all using that to discredit us? Like, what are we talking about? And really, they're right about that. We're not here to really use violence. I just want to debate. Did Chief got a song like that? I'm just here to debate. That's crazy, but that's how we war. We bring every thought to the obedience of Mashiach Yahushua. Yahushua is the what? Word made flesh. Right? We cutting niggas with the word. Like y'all should feel like you know how good it feels walking around knowing the breakdowns. You hear Christians just saying words, just talking. I'm just looking like grace. John 3:16. Yeah, Alan Cuban, Frontline. That's the name of that song. Frontline. Go back to Revelation 11.
God. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 11, verse 11. And after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from God entered into them, and they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them.
Just like how they do with us.
And they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, come up hither. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud, and their enemies beheld them.
That's that Wisdom of Solomon 5, right? Great fear fell upon them. Like that they really fear us, really, ultimately. That's why they go to the great lengths that they do to try to discredit us and in like manner, right? Because we have the Spirit, and now we have a full fluid understanding. Like, think about before the Hebrew Israelites even existed. There was no like fluid understanding from Genesis to Revelation ever. Hell, why you see all these, like the Council of Corinth, Council of Carthage, all these, not Corinth, Council of Nicaea, Council of Carthage, they're all trying to debate doctrine. And Christians still do that to this day. They don't have no concrete understanding of what the Bible is from Genesis to Revelations. We got various camps and various different groups and various different Hebrew Israelite groups. We're really not that far off in doctrine. We're really not. We meat potatoes. We know who salvation is for, who Christ came for, what we need to be doing to get saved, what have you. We got various small little details between each other, but for the most part, we all have a fluid understanding of the Bible. They don't. And the Bible's been out for like let's see, how long has it been out in a total package? Maybe
180.
180, I don't know, a whole one.
Yeah.
I think. I'll just give him a little bit of grace. Let's say 1,000 years, right? Let's just say 1,000 just because I don't know off the top of my head. And y'all still don't got the breakdown. And then what, like 70, 80 years ago, a nigga come out of nowhere with the breakdown, right? But when we got a fluid understanding now, well, y'all had all this time. That's crazy, right? That's why great fear falls upon them when they see us do what we do. Because we got the breakdown. They got the breakdown, and a part of the breakdown is we go into captivity. Oh no, we gotta shut this down. We gotta shut this down. That's what that is, right? And the people, and what's funny about this is, remember what I said about the servants, the prophets, the apostles. These are the ones that are going to be saved, correct? I said that earlier. Right. So the same people who had this breath, the Spirit come inside of them, right? That's the same people who he said, "Come up hitherto." Read verse 12 again.
It's Revelations 11 and 12. And they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them.
Unto who?
Unto them.
Unto them, the servants, the prophets. Keep going.
Come up hither.
Come up hither.
And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud, and their enemies beheld them.
And their enemies beheld them. The same people who were trying to make us look like horrible monsters on the internet, they're going to see that. All of them is going to see that, right? But the people who are getting that told to is the same people who are the servant of the prophets. That's what I'm trying to drive in y'all's head. Like this, like being a prophet and being a servant and being an apostle ain't just you just showing up on Saturday, right? This is you showing up every time. Like let's say you had like Kobe, right? You know he passed, but before it, if he saw even just like a kid's game where they want him to shoot around, you think he about to get some lackadaisical shots? This dude about to show out no matter where he go. Hell, even LeBron, he gonna show out wherever we go. All these superstars are gonna do that. That's how we need to be. We need to show up and show out. Keep going.
Okay. Verse 13. In the same hour was there a great earthquake, and the 10th part of the city fell. And in the earthquake were slain of men 7,000.
It's a complete number, right? It's not literal, but it's a complete number. Keep going.
Okay. And the remnant were affrighted.
The rest of the men who were alive, go ahead.
And gave glory to the God of heaven.
They realized he was real. Because hold on, they realized God was real when that happened. Oh, there's an earthquake happen. So that's how you know, like all the stuff that's happening right here. The elect getting beamed up, an earthquake happening. A lot of people are dying. God's real. God's real. That book that y'all had, that your grandma had on her desk, collecting all that dust with psalms on it. Right, open the psalms. Right, is that how you say it, Sonny? Psalms. Yeah, that book, the God of that book is real. That's what's going to happen right here. Now, watch what happens after this. Keep going.
Verse 14. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly.
What's the third woe? So, what does that mean? They're going to be saved before World War III. Don't we see World War III on the horizon? Our salvation is nearer than we believed, right? Like for real. If you see that, if you see World War III and you're still here, you know what that means? You were fucked. You didn't make it. You've been left behind, right? Get yeah, you're talking about scary hours then for real. Get Revelation 15:1.
There's a book of Revelation, chapter 15, verse 1. And I saw another sign in heaven, great and marvelous, 7 angels having the 7 last plagues. For in them is filled up the wrath of God.
So the 7 plagues is about to is about to hit the earth, right? Because they're filled up with the wrath of God. Go ahead.
And I saw as it were a sea of glass mingled with fire, and them that had gotten the victory over the beast and over his image and over his mark and over the number of his name stand on the sea of glass having the harps of God.
So that's the elect. Keep going. The next verse proves it. Go ahead.
And they sing the song of Moses, the servant of God, and in the song of the Lamb, saying, great and marvelous are the works of the Lord God Almighty. Just and true are thy always, thou King of saints.
So it says the song of the servant, Moses, the servant of God. Moses also a prophet. And it says the song of the Lamb, right? It's really just going into salvation. Do you remember in Exodus 15 when we sang the song of Moses then? Right. Yeah, so same thing when Mashiach Yahushai, after we've been delivered, if we be of that number, the elect. But what's happening right here, what you got to pay attention to, they're already up. They're already up in the sky, right? They're delivered from everything that's about to happen here. Then the plagues happen. The plagues are happening while they're already delivered. So you can now escape the plagues. What's going on right there? Oh, God. The elect is escape from the plagues. That's the first part of the reward that we want. We want that full reward of being delivered from these plagues and the kingdom. But the first part of that is you being delivered from these plagues in this World War III. That's what we're trying to escape from. That's that full reward. Get Isaiah 66:7. I remember I saw pull this verse the other day, and I was like, oh my God.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 66, verse 7. Before she travailed, she brought forth. Before her pain came, she was delivered.
Before her pain came, she was what?
She was delivered of a man child.
That's what happens, right? But before the pain comes, they were delivered. She was delivered, just like how the elect will be. How we saw in Revelation 15 and Revelations 11. Get Luke 18:7. Let's go into some more in the qualifications of being the elect.
This is the book of Luke, chapter 18, verse 7. And shall not God avenge his own elect, which cry day and night unto him, though he bear along with them?
So let's pick out a few parts of this. So God not avenge. So God's going to avenge the noun right here, the elect, right, which cry day and night unto him. That means their life is this prophethood, right? This truth, this word, this way of life, this culture, this is their lifestyle from day to night. It's not like oh, they just one day of the week. No, this is literally all the time, right? So go to Revelations 18 and 20. So it says God's gonna avenge his elect. So let's go to Revelations 18 and 20 and see who's being avenged.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 18, verse 20. Rejoice over her, thou heaven, and ye holy apostles and prophets, for God have avenged you on her.
Have done what?
God hath avenged. It's like, for God hath avenged you on her.
So the people who God's avenging, it said God's going to avenge his elect, right? The people who are getting avenged are the apostles and the prophets, the same people who are the servants of God, the same people and the same servants that has that mark on them from Revelation chapter 7. You see that? That's the people who are going to be saved out of this place, bro. And we've seen the qualifications of that. And that's not no half-assing. These are bond servants to the Lord. This is you being a prisoner to the Lord. Right? Like, y'all know how hard it is to, like, after working like 10 plus hours, having to deal with kids, and now have to write a lesson. whether or not you have the energy or not, you still got to show up. That's crazy. It's like a musician on tour, right? You at the end of your tour, you got to perform to make your money, right? That's the same. What they say, the show must go on, right? It don't matter if you're tired or not. You got to be a bond servant to the Lord. That's what's required of you. Get Ezekiel 9:4.
Oh, shoot. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 9.
Quick. Master Cush says, the mark of the Lord given because I kept the Sabbath. He said kept. Does he keep the Sabbath? Hey, I mean, look, man. Yeah. He said avoid the Cush, man. Sleepy funny, bro. Yeah, man. Just do the. We already went through the qualifications of what you're supposed to be doing. Just follow that. Let's just do that. Get Ezekiel 9:4.
This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 9, verse 4. When the Lord said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof.
So this is the same mark that's getting put upon the servants in Revelation chapter 7, right? So right here it says the sigh and cry for all the abominations that are done in the midst thereof. That's talking about Babylon. That's talking about America. All the evil stuff that happens here, they're not okay with that. These same servants they're not happy in Babylon. They're not trying to just like push forth this kingdom so it can last forever. They're not on that. They want this kingdom to fall the same way the Lord prophesied it would. So they're going to be pushing for the destruction of this place by sealing the elect. They're not okay with Babylon. I wanted to put this in there too. We'll get go back to Ephesians 4. Because that's wrapped up with Ephesians 4 about being a servant to the Lord. Because a servant is going to do the will of whatever their master is, right? Everything that happens here is not the will of the masters, of our master, right? Yahweh or Yahweh Shai Mashiach, right? That's not our will. That's why Yahweh Shai said in Matthew 6 when he gave the Lord's prayers that thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. We have to pray for that because we don't have that. At that time, we was ruled by the Romans, who we rule by now. Really the same Romans, really, but the same people, the damn Edomites. So we're going to be praying and doing our best to have the Lord's will be fulfilled here. And the only way it's going to be fulfilled is if we seal the elect and we be bond servants to the Lord. Keep going.
Now, this is Ephesians chapter 4, verse 1. I therefore, the prisoner of the Lord, beseech ye that ye walk worthy of the vocation wherewith ye are called, with all lowliness and meekness, with long suffering, forbearing one another in love.
Because part of that is how you respond to your brothers, right? It's real easy. No, I have that nigga. It's real easy to do that, but to be long suffering, that's one of the hardest things ever, man. That's one of you gotta. You talk about one of the hardest things. I say that one of the hardest things in the truth is really being consistent. But after that is long suffering. Oh my God. There's been so many times where you just want to body slam a nigga, man. You know, you can't do that. I mean, you kind of can, but you shouldn't. You shouldn't. I mean, you can, but you shouldn't make that a habit, man. You shouldn't make that a habit. It's like it says in Proverbs 19. It's a glory to pass over a transgression. Keep going.
God, verse 3. I'm gonna read verse 2 again. With all lowliness and meekness, and with long suffering, forbearing one another in love, endeavoring to keep the unity of the spirit in the bond of peace.
Keep going.
There is one body and one spirit, even as ye are called in one hope of your calling. One Lord, one faith, one baptism, one God and Father of all, who is above all and through all and in you all.
Where's the Trinity at that?
Yeah,
I thought there was three. Yeah. I thought there was three persons in that. But it named all that to show you that it's all the order. The order in heaven is, I mean, the people in the house. See, I almost said the Trinity, right? That's crazy. See, because I was thinking there's an order in heaven, just like how there needs to be an order here, and we need to do our best to maintain it within the unity of brethren. That's why we can't just go around body slamming niggas all the time. Sometimes we gotta pass over a transgression. right? So go to Matthew 10. Because that's pretty much it as far as the qualifications for the elect, what the elect are going to be doing, the reward they're going to get. But we also need to touch on what's going to, like, how do their families be saved, and the people who also help the prophets and apostles.
We're going to
start at verse 40.
Okay. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 10, verse 40. He that receiveth you receiveth me, and he that receiveth me receiveth him that sent me.
Mm-hmm.
He that receiveth a prophet in the name of a prophet shall receive a prophet's reward.
What's the prophet's reward? Salvation, right? So if you receive a prophet, and you keep going, there's going to be more to that.
He that receiveth a prophet in the name of a prophet shall receive a prophet's reward.
You see that? That's for people who help the prophets. Because you have some people, like even in Esau's army, you could be physically unfit for duty, right? It could be the same thing for somebody out here who's physically unfit for duty as far as like being somebody in the camp and doing camp-related activities, but they can be an assistance and a help. Just like how you got Geronimo. Geronimo always come and bring us food or do something for us. Literally, right? Like that. That's you refreshing the prophets, and you're doing it because we're prophets, right? Keep going.
He that receiveth a prophet in the name of a prophet shall receive a prophet's reward.
Yeah.
And he that receiveth a righteous man in the name of a righteous man shall receive a righteous man's reward.
Mm-hmm.
And whosoever shall give drink unto one of these little ones a cup of cold water, only in the name of a disciple, verily I say unto you, he shall in no wise lose his reward.
So it's pretty much saying the same thing. What it said in verse 41. That's the same thing with your wives too. If your wife ain't keeping you refreshed, or take your clothes out, making you some food or something like that, making your life more conducive for you to be better in this truth, and she gonna mess around, lose her damn reward. That's predicated off of you. So if she's basically going against the grain and making it harder for you, you screwing yourself out of your reward. All you got to do is be on the team. Everybody on the team get the ring.
Everybody on the team get the ring. That's tough.
Everybody on the team get the ring, bro. That's what I'm saying. Everybody on the bench, man, a 6 man, he may not be starting, but what? But he get the ring though. He's get the ring.
They go to practice every day. You know what I'm saying? They do what they're supposed to do. They're on the training team. They do what?
Yeah.
No dirty game. You just sit down.
You sit down, man. We call you when we need you.
Paid too.
Get paid too, man. That's how it is with your family. Get Matthew 25 and 31.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 25, verse 31.
Right.
When the Son of Man shall come in his glory, and all the holy angels with him, then shall he sit upon the throne of his glory. And before him shall be gathered all nations, and he shall separate them one from another, as a shepherd divided his sheep from the goats.
Scroll down. Oh yeah, you go. You keep reading.
Yeah. Verse 33. And he shall set the sheep on his right hand, but the goats on the left. Then shall the king say unto them on his right hand, come, ye blessed of my father, inherit the kingdom, prepared for you from the foundation of the world.
And I said, prepared for you before the foundation of the world. What is that type of language right there, before the foundation of the world? Who is that talking to? The elect. Before the foundation of the world. Remember Jeremiah 50 and 20? I will pardon those who I've reserved. Reserved when? Before anything was even created, right? He already has his list. So before anything was even created, before the foundations of the world, right? It's already been prepared for the elect to obtain the kingdom. Like Alan Cupid said, predestination. That's yeah. Alan Cupid be watching the videos. Keep going.
God. Slide. Verse 35. For I was an hungered, and ye gave me meat. I was thirsty, and ye gave me drink. I was a stranger, and ye took me in. Naked, and ye clothed me. I was sick, and ye visited me. I was in prison, and ye came unto me. Then shall the righteous answer him, saying, Lord, when saw we thee and hungered, and fed thee, or thirsty, and gave thee drink? When saw we thee a stranger, and took thee in, or naked, and clothed thee? Or when saw we thee sick, or in prison, and came unto thee?
Mm-hmm.
And the king shall answer and say unto them, Verily I say unto you, inasmuch as ye have done it unto me, one of the least of these my brethren, ye have done it unto me.
You've done it too?
Unto me.
What does that show you? That we are all Yahweh body, right? That's why you shouldn't really bear hatred towards your brother, because you know when you really kind of hating Yahweh when you do that, in a way. Not literally, but in a way. What's up?
That's how we prove when we say when he told
You told Revelation 11?
Why you crucify me?
You talking about Revelation 11?
Why you
crucify me?
Oh, yeah. Ooh.
So they're going to prove that, man, my bad.
No, I know what you mean, though.
Yeah, basically, that's what it is. Why crucify me? They proved that we the body. And they're going to do Deuteronomy. Why Lord was crucified in Revelation.
Yeah, Revelation 11, too. Both of those, yeah. We need to go ahead and I need to write that down. Somebody write that down. Use that one later. Write that down. Keep going.
God. Was that 4? Yeah, verse 41.
Mm-hmm.
Then shall he say unto them on the left hand, Depart from me, ye cursed, into everlasting fire, prepared for the devils and his angels. For I was hungered, and ye gave me no meat. I was thirsty, and ye gave me no drink. I was a stranger, and ye took me not in. Naked, and ye not clothed me. And ye clothed me not. Sick and in prison, and ye visited me not. Then shall they also answer him, saying, Lord, when saw we thee in hunger, or at thirst, or a stranger, or naked, or sick, or in prison, and did not minister unto thee? Then shall he answer them, saying, Verily I say unto you, inasmuch as ye did it not to one of the least of these, ye did it not to me.
So, why? Why? Because we're his body. So if you're not, you're not there for your brother, right? Or just say, let's use your wife in this instance. Your wife or somebody who's not fit for camp, but don't do nothing to help the brother and shit like that. Like that, you're doing this. You're doing the inverse of what the good one is, where you actually help. When you actually help your brother, right? You'll get a prophet's reward. When you do the opposite of that, you're fumbling your reward, right? Just like how a wife can fumble a reward by not doing what she's supposed to be doing. That's what Paul said when he said, and was that in Timothy's? 1 Timothy 2? 1 Timothy 2? He said, they'll be saved in childbearing and no, that's Timothy, I think. I think that's Timothy's 2. Let me see. Yeah, should be saved. Oh, it's 2:15. It's notwithstanding, she should be saved and childbearing if they continue in faith and in charity and holiness with sobriety, right? That doesn't mean like literally just she's gonna say she has children, but just her job, right? She's fulfilling her vocation. Yeah. Holy. Yeah. You remember that? So she had no kids, she ain't gonna be saved. No, we ain't use that, man. So, yeah. No, I mean, I understand because you got certain Israelites to be teaching that.
She gotta have some faith too. She can't just be wicked.
Yeah.
Just be around and cool with you, but still being wicked.
Yeah.
She gotta have some type of.
Yeah, I gotta work with. I gotta work with this a little bit. You got plenty of individualized teaching that on the internet. That's the internet was like the greatest invention for this truth, but also the worst invention. Everybody think they a teacher, bro. Everybody not a teacher. Everybody's not breaking the Bible down. Bro, you got Israelites teaching the Trinity, virgin birth, bro. I'm looking like y'all. You should have just stayed where you was at. That's Christianity with a twist of line. All nations could be saved, man. Crazy. That's that one. That Alan Cooper got that precept that you were talking about in Acts. Yeah, posted it. Hell yeah. Now I can just go back and look at the comment section. Well, yeah, get Matthew 24:36. This is going back to everybody on the team get the ring.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 36. But of that day and hour knoweth no man, no, not the angels of heaven, but my Father only. But as the days of Noah were, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be.
So stop right there. The same way it was with Noah is going to be the same way with the coming of the Son of Man, right? Read verse 38.
Verse 38. For as in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage, unto the day that Noah entered into the ark.
Did Noah go into the ark by himself? No. His family and the wives went in. Yeah, you didn't hear what they did, but we know they went there when you read the account. So it's gonna be the same way with our families. If we're a prophet, we get delivered, and your wife is being there for you. Hey, she get the ring too. She get the ring too. So
that's why we gotta build a team.
That's why we gotta build the team. Yeah, start at 5. Yeah.
Everybody, did y'all ever see that Wicked Noah movie they made?
Nah, they took it off the theaters quickly.
Man, they made it with Russell Crowe. Oh, but it came in the ship too.
Yeah.
Killing the animals, eating animals. I think him.
Like somebody else's baby in there too.
Yeah, another one.
But it was just a kid.
I forgot what he looked like. I know. Gladiator?
Yeah.
The main guy from there, that's what
Russell Crowe.
Are you not entertained?
Oh, him. Are you not entertained?
It was pretty good until they added stuff to it. And Stone Giant.
The Gollum.
What the hell?
The Nephilim.
So they read the book of Enoch.
Yeah, they read the book of Enoch. Made the book. They read Genesis, and then just you know what? We're gonna read Enoch. Yeah, that's why he's white. That's why he was white, man. Yeah, give me that. It's a Kasab's Russell Crowe watched them. Give Proverbs 12:24 amplified. Kasab always good for the comedic comment.
12:24.
Yeah, 12:24.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 12, verse 24, in the Amplified. The hand of the diligent will rule, but the negligent and lazy will be put forth. The hand of the diligent will rule, but the negligent and lazy will be put to forced labor.
So we saw like one of the very first precepts we brought, the second one about the parable of the talents, correct? Everybody remember that, right? It said, "Faithful servant, I'll make you've been good over a few things, but you're gonna be ruler over some more things." That's this right here. The hand of the diligent. The one who's multiplying their talents is the diligent person, right? But it says the negligent and lazy. You know, we all know of a lazy nigga, right? But I'm just being honest. When you just say that, you could think you just come down and it's like, oh yeah, that dude, bro. It's always that guy. But the negligent and lazy will be put to forced labor. Forced labor is what? Captivity. That's captivity, right? What is it? How we apply that now? If you be diligent, you could be the one ruler. You could be the one multiplying your talent. You could be the one delivered, be the hopeful elect, probably the elect, right? But the same person who is lazy and negligent, you're going to be stuck here in captivity during World War III. Imagine that. Imagine still being you got the breakdown, know that still in captivity. Crazy. Crazy. Go to 27.
God, verse 27. The lazy man does not catch and roast his prey, but the precious possession of a wise man is diligence, because he recognizes opportunities and seizes them.
Just like now, you recognize the opportunity. Hey, I could potentially be the elect. I can get this crown. I can multiply my talents, and you seize that opportunity, right? You get to eat. Read the verse again from the top.
You said 27 again?
27 from the top.
The lazy man does not catch and roast his prey.
He don't get to eat. Lazy man don't get to eat. You don't get to catch or roast your prey. You don't get to eat at all. I'm trying to eat over there. How much I say in the what they call the Last Supper? We're just not going to eat or drink again from this vine until we eat it anew in the basically in the kingdom, right? That's where I'm trying to go eat at. I ain't trying to eat over. This place is not my rest because it is polluted. That's right. I spent $14 on Taco Bell today. I'm highly upset about that when I handed that lady my card. I'm so upset about that. That's nuts. Yeah. Keep going. It is. It's over.
The lazy man does not catch and roast his
prey. Wait. Side note. Slacky. Y'all hear McDonald's talking about getting a $5 meal now?
Yeah.
I said, what kind of mystery meat is that going to be? A McDouble's $3. How the hell you going to sell a $5? That's gonna be good. That's gonna be a rat meat special, bro. That's what keep going.
The lazy man does not catch and roast his prey, but the precious possession of a wise man is diligence, because he recognizes opportunities and seizes them.
Yeah.
In the way of righteousness is life, and in its pathways there is no death, but immortality, eternal life.
And what?
But immortality, eternal life.
What's eternal life? No, it's not knowing the Bible. Oh, no. The kingdom. The kingdom of the promises. That's what eternal life is. Get Matthew 25 again, verse 24 NLT.
Hey, can't there be another way, like, because even though we got to go to captivity and plantation, at least we know in our mind that we ain't setting our heart upon this.
Yeah.
Our people that's in the world, they setting their heart upon it. So that's why I still seem like they in captivity, because they still, entrapped in what's going on.
Yeah, their minds are trapped. Yeah. Yikes. You still listening to Sexy Red, man, NBA young boy.
Right.
You talking to me?
Man. Hey, all I know is after we marked that man, he's been in trouble ever since Tom's not cursing niggas, bro. He's like y'all remember when Lil B put that curse on James Harden? That's how Tom's not been doing with these celebrities. So, you an Israelite, man? Oh Lord, that's funny as hell. Get that.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 25, verse 24. The one had received their talent also came forward, saying, Master, I knew you to be a harsh and demanding man, reaping the harvest where you did not sow and gathering where you did not scatter seed.
Mm-hmm.
So I was afraid to lose the talent, and I went and hid your talent in the ground. I see you have what is your own.
Mm-hmm.
But his master answered him, you wicked, lazy servant.
See, we already read about the lazy niggas, man. You don't want to be that guy. This is somebody who just want to be a warm body on Saturday, right? That's what this is right here in verse 26. Go ahead.
But his master answered him, you wicked, lazy servant. You knew that I reaped the harvest where I did not sow and gathered where I did not scatter seed. Then you ought to have put my money with the bankers, and at my return I would have received my money back with interest. So take the talent away from him and give it to the one who has the 10 talents.
Mm-hmm.
For to everyone who has and values his blessing and gifts from God and has used them wisely.
And did what?
And used them wisely.
Use them wisely. Everybody got something they can add to the body, whether it's a specific skill that they know and they have, right? We got Yakima with the camera, right? We got Cognac over here who can relate to the NBA young boys, right? Apostles to the celebrities. Everybody got their own talent, man. You got to use them wisely, right? Keep going.
God. For to everyone who has and values his blessings and gifts from God and use them wisely, more will be given. and he will be richly supplied so that he will have an abundance. But from the one who does not have, because he has ignored or disregarded his blessings and gifts from God, even what he does have will be taken away.
That's right. You
And throw out the worthless servant into the outer darkness, in that place of grief and torment.
Now, what is that? That's damn destruction in Babylon. That's what that is. Keep going.
And throw out the worthless servant into the outer darkness, in that place of grief and torment. There will be weeping over sorrow and pain, and grinding of teeth over distress and anger.
That's what we saw in Revelation chapter 11, where it talks to the remnant was affrighted. That's that, right? And then when World War III happens, they really gonna be going through this. That's what you're gonna get if you want to be a half-ass nigga. That's what you get, right? We've seen what you get when you half-ass, what you get when you be the prophet. That's what this class is all about, right? So multiply your talents, do what you're supposed to do, man. With that, that's all I got, right? So I'm gonna say first foremost, call all Yahweh by Shema Mashiach Yahushai and say Shalom.
Shalom.